Okay, we're going to continue on today. The first thing I wanted to talk about was a planet alignment we just had on Monday. There's a bunch of planets that all lined up here in our solar system, and it doesn't happen very often. And it brings to mind what happened when the dog star Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, Sirius, Mars, and Jupiter all lined up. And that's when the Messiah was born. And it led the three wise men to Bethlehem. And so the wise men found Jesus there in a manger, there in Bethlehem. And that great light in the sky led them. Now, Christ child conceived by the Holy Spirit, Mother Mary, December 25th. And 9 months later, the Christ child was born, September 29th. The first day of the Feast of Tabernacles, the third of the great Hebrew feast, Sukkot, when they spend a week in these tents, or their makeshift tents. Sukkot means booth. It's what the Hebrew children spent 40 years in the desert in. And they spend 7 days in Sukkot, in these makeshift tents, the booths. And then on the 8th day of the Feast of Tabernacles, the last day, the Christ child was circumcised according to Jewish law. Now, 6 months earlier, John the Baptist was born. Remember in Luke, verse to Luke, it tells you, Mother Mary ran and she ran and she ran all the way to Elizabeth's house. And there, John the Baptist, 6 months along, means John the Baptist was born 6 months before the Christ child was born, the Messiah was born. So John the Baptist, born on Passover Day. We know that because of the 8th course of Abihu. Zacharias was a Levite priest. They have 24 courses. So we know from the 8th course of Abihu the conception date of John the Baptist. So we know when John the Baptist was born, Passover Day. And then 6 months later, the Christ child was born on the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles and was conceived by the Holy Spirit on December 25th. Now, September 29th, when Christ was born, the dog star, Sirius. Now, the dog star is the brightest star in the sky. And you got Orion and Orion's belt. And you got Orion is the hunter, and the Orion's dog is the hunting dog. And Sirius is right next to Orion, the hunter. So we're going to continue on in our Father's Word in Haggai, chapter 1, verse 11. And I call for a drought upon the land and upon the mountains, and upon the corn and upon the new wine, and upon the oil, and upon that which the ground bringeth forth, and upon men, and upon cattle, and upon all the labor of the hands. Then Zerubbabel the son of Shealtiel, and Joshua the son of Josedek, the high priest, with all the remnant of the people, obeyed the voice of the Lord their God, and the words of Haggai the prophet, as the Lord their God had sent him. And the people did fear before the Lord. Then spake Haggai, the Lord's messenger, in the Lord's message unto the people, saying, I am with you, saith the Lord. And the Lord stirred up the spirit of Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, the governor of Judah, and the spirit of Joshua, the son of Josedek, the high priest, and the spirit of all the remnant of the people. And they came and did work in the house of the Lord of hosts, their God, in the 4th and 20th day of the 6th month, in the 2nd year of Darius the king. And in the 7th month, now this is Haggai chapter 2. In the 7th month, in 1 and 20th day of the month, came the word of the Lord by the prophet Haggai, saying, Speak now to Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and to Joshua, the son of Josedech, the high priest, and to the residue of the people, saying, Who is left among you that saw this house in her first glory? And how do you see it now? Is it not in your eyes in comparison as nothing? Yet now be strong, O Zerubbabel, saith the Lord, and be strong, O Joshua, son of Josedech, the high priest. And be strong, all ye people of the land, saith the Lord, and work. For I am with you, saith the Lord of hosts, according to the word that I covenanted with you when you came out of Egypt. So my spirit remaineth among you. Fear ye not, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, Yet once is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth, and the sea and the dry land, and I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come. And I will fill this house with glory, saith the Lord of hosts. The silver is mine, the gold is mine, saith the Lord of hosts. The glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former, saith the Lord of hosts. And in this place will I give peace, saith the Lord of hosts. And the 24th day of the 9th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Ask now the priest concerning the law, saying, If one bear holy flesh in the skirt of his garment, and with his skirt do not touch bread, or pottage, or wine, or oil, or any meat, shall it be holy? And the priest answered and said, No. Then said Haggai, If one that is unclean by a dead body touch any of these, shall it be unclean? And the priest answered and said, It shall be unclean. Then answered Haggai and said, So is this people, and so is this nation before me, saith the Lord. And so is every work of their hands, and that which they offer there is unclean. And now I pray you, consider from this day and upward, from before a stone was laid upon a stone in the temple of the Lord, since those days were, when one came to an heap of 20 measures, there were but 10. When one came to the press fat, for to draw out 50 vessels out of the press, there were but 20. I smote you with blasting, and with mildew, and with hail, in all the labors of your hands. Yet ye turn not to me, saith the Lord. Consider now from this day and upward, from the 24th day of the 9th month, even from the day that the foundation of the Lord's temple was laid, consider it. Is the seed yet in the barn? Yea, as yet the vine and the fig tree and the pomegranate and the olive tree hath not brought forth. From this day will I bless you. And again the word of the Lord came unto Haggai in the 24th day of the month, saying, Speak to Zerubbabel, governor of Judea, saying, I will shake the heavens and the earth, and I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen, and I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them, and the horses and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother. And in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, will I take thee, O Zerubbabel, my servant, the son of Shealtiel, saith the Lord, and will make thee as a signet, for I have chosen thee, saith the Lord of hosts. Now that's the end of Haggai, and now we're going to go to Zechariah. Zechariah. This is what Bullinger says about Zechariah. Zechariah's first prophecy is dated in the 8th month in the 2nd year of Darius, 16 years after the decree of Cyrus the Great. It thus came midway between Haggai's 2nd and 3rd message